Felix here. If you're worried what your favorite tech stocks are going to do this coming week after the long US weekend, I hope you're enjoying it. Then my chief, well, just really naughty cat is going to tell you what to do. We're going to walk through, and I've got it on the screen here, NVIDIA, Apple, Google, Tesla, Bank of America, Palantir, United Health, AMD, MSTR, Nike, Intel, New, Circle, a couple more, SoFi, HIMS, and of course the indices, and look at what are the buy points, what are the sell points, what do we need to be careful of, what do we need to watch out for, and how do we deal with a little problem like Hugh. He's cute, isn't he? One of our 5 little kittens here. This is the naughtiest one. He's called Hugh because he's obviously Scottish, because, I mean, he's ginger, isn't he? So there we are. Scots have all been offended, but it's really in your honor. I think that's the way I would look at that. I'm going to put this kitten away, and we're going to get cracking. But first things first, before you look at any single stock, any given day, open this thing. It's called the VIX, V-I-X. It's the fear index. And generally speaking, the lower, the better, the less fear there is. We're at 16. There is no fear. The market is confident that all that money pumping by the US government is going to keep us afloat in AI spend and everything else. So that's a very, very good point to start. Now, speaking of AI spend, NVIDIA continues to be on an absolute tear. Can you see what it's done just? And the software I'm using here, by the way, is Trade Vision. You can get yourself a free trial to that. You can see dark pool access and everything else. It's amazing. You see that box I drew in there? I want to say it's a green box, but it's a blue box, isn't it? My funny blue glasses doing their thing. And we've blown out above that very, very, very nicely. Now, one reason I think is the big, beautiful bill that gives massive tax deductions for NVIDIA's biggest customers, which should be very, very good. So this party continues. It's bullish. Is it too late? I don't see it like that personally. I just think the semiconductor sector is on a tear. People who are not in it are going to miss out. I'm not telling you what to buy. Obviously, there are plenty of semiconductor stocks to look at. But AMD here, what have we just seen there? Well, we've seen a classic case of second chance. So in the stock market, unlike like in life, you always get a second chance breakout. Second chance. That's the way it looks at the moment. And it is a textbook move. I'll teach that to you if you want to learn it. But you have to join a live seminar where you will actually learn when to buy, what to buy, and when to sell based on the same Wall Street rules that Wall Street's been using for like 50 years to make boatloads of money, while everybody else is sort of like, you know, inching by on somewhere between 0 and 8% most of the time. You want to do better than that. You want to actually have confidence and sleep well and fully automate the bloody thing so you never have to do anything ever again during the week. We don't trade during the week. We do that on Sundays. So you want to come and learn that, then join me, felixprehn.org/seminar. That's at 10 a.m. New York time on Saturday. That's just after the glorious 4th of July. Let's kick out the Brits Day. So AMD, to me, looks very, very good here. Apple actually had a bit of a miraculous recovery here. But tell me if this is a buy to you. So what do we look at? We're here, right? Look at the previous highs. They're there, and there, and there. Exactly at the same level. It's almost as if we stopped at the same level because there are rules to this game. And yes, indeed there are. So we've literally just gone absolutely sideways and done absolutely bugger all. Now, what you'll also notice if you are attentive as the stock goes up, so the volume goes down. Very, very likely a sign that this rally is about to pause. So I would not be buying Apple personally. You obviously have to come to your own conclusion. Google, on the other hand, I'm a little bit more bullish on. Now, you do see the same. This goes up, volume goes down. Might have a little bit to do with 4th of July, because obviously every self-respecting banker was already in the Hamptons, you know, swinging back Bollinger or Krug or something. We therefore have a similar pattern situation here where we're going sideways. So what we look out for, well, we need to break out of that. So basically you need to break out, let me give you the exact number. I would call it 182 in a bit. Make it 183 to be round. So we break out above 183 and we see some decent volume down here at the same time, then I think Google might go on a tear. The tax breaks should tremendously help Google and their buybacks to start with. Tesla, shutter. Poor Tesla. Poor Tesla. It managed to close below that yellow line there, which is the 50-day moving average line. It really matters. It's what everybody looks at. Everybody looks at the same line for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days in a row. Not good. Not good at all. So we're not happy about that. We haven't made up for the gap yet. So we're not happy about this at all. And I just think it's uncertainty, politics. The market is unsure what happens as the tax credits go away. In the long run, I think it's very good for Tesla because every other car maker in the world will go bankrupt, well, in the US at least. But Elon's a loose cannon. A genius, but a loose cannon. He should just forget about the politics and just make really cool stuff. And we'd love him for it. And we do love him for it. The politics, it's just, you're going to piss off always at least 50% of your potential audience. So if you're running a business for profit, and if you're an investor, you want to be in business for profit, not to like make the world a better place, the two don't really combine, then I think Tesla is a very high risk proposition at this point. Bank of America, banks, who would have thought? I had a stern word with the cats there. It did not work. Right. This is the chief culprit. So if we keep him happy, we might get a little bit more peace and quiet around here. So Bank of America, big, beautiful breakout, exactly as expected. Why? Well, banking regulations improved and so on. But ultimately, literally just the finance sector has been on a tear. We've been making loads of money on finance stocks for a while, haven't we, Albert? Who's obviously in charge around here, as you can tell. He was meant to be a kitten, by the way. Biggest cat out of the hat. Aren't you, Albert? Created 5 more kittens at the same time. So yeah, looks beautiful. Continues to look beautiful. Really nothing to complain about. We had a little mini gap up there as well on Friday. So very, very happy with that. Palantir, everyone keeps saying it's overvalued and all of that. Those people don't realize that the market doesn't give a hoot about value in the short term. None whatsoever. It's all about momentum. It's all about story. It's all about where's the money flowing. At the moment, the money continues to flow into Palantir. I think, again, a big beneficiary from the big, beautiful bill here. So this looks good. We're above that yellow line here, which is the 50-day moving average line, that one there. And as long as we're above that, we're pretty happy with it. We're in that broad, upwards trend here. So nothing really to complain about. Is there, Albert? Albert says, go for it. What about United Health? A textbook case to why you should have a freaking stop, because even though your stop wouldn't have triggered pre-market, you still would have sold at the very top of that day there. And tell me whether you would have been happier selling there than being a freaking bag holder like everybody else now. 35% loss avoided. And your money would not be tied up in a dead stock, and instead you'd be in something much better. Now, will United Health ever recover? I have got no idea, and I really don't care. When it starts pointing up again and the chart pattern does not look like it wants to commit suicide, we'll look at it. We might even buy it. We don't have emotional attachments to stocks. We don't care what we make our money with now, do we, Albert? Albert, of course, agrees. It's all his research. AMD looks beautiful. We looked at that briefly, didn't we? What about MSTR? You'd think that crypto would be flying. It sort of is, but MSTR, well, I think it's just gone up a lot. So it's just a lot of the money is flowing into the smaller sort of treasury companies at the moment, your Meta Planets and all that kind of stuff, which we're also making money out of. But we are seeing a little bit of a move here, a little bit, but not quite enough. We still need to go up to about $420 as this little rascal is wrestling me, aren't you, Albert? Wrestling me. Don't worry, he does get treated very, very gently, don't you? Yes. So he's a big teddy bear, this one. But if I let him loose, then the racket starts again. So we're going to try and hold on to him. Nike had a miraculous recovery, 1 on earnings and 2 on the Vietnam trade deal. And does this look good? Si, senor. It looks very good. It's a big, beautiful breakout. It's absolutely lovely. Potentially, if they do recover their mojo, then they have an opportunity to go somewhat higher. I leave it up to you what your imagination might be on that, but it's a big, beautiful brand. Everything is big and beautiful today, isn't it? And well, I thought it was sort of dead, but my godchildren seem to like it, and they're like, sort of young teenagers. So it seems the brand still has that appeal that it always had. They spent about an entire day went to about 15 Nike stores trying to find a particular type of shoe, which seems a little odd, but I had sympathy. Intel, what about Intel? Well, yeah, I would... It's potentially there. It is a laggard in the semiconductor sector. And I'm not a huge fan of laggards. Laggard is polite for late to the party. These are sort of the highs here that I'm connecting. We're still slightly below those. You break out of that with some oomph, so to get back to maybe 23.50, 24. There is a good chance this will recover. But there are plenty of semiconductor stocks that have done a lot better than this one. So I'm not sure why people want to throw their money at this one necessarily. Here is a watch list I have of semiconductor stocks. You can take a screenshot of that if you wish. There are about 90 or so actual semiconductor stocks out there. And our job is simply to be in the good ones. How do we know how to be in the good ones? Look how many there are. Crazy, hey? We look at the chart and we look at the good ones. It's pretty simple, actually. And then we just put our money into the ones with the good charts. Intel, to me, not there yet. What about this one? New holdings. Not loving it right now. There is a potential you break through this here at $14 and you could be in business. And if you really want to understand the hows and the whys, then again, learn the rules. It's all about the rules. That's what it's all about. And you'll be able to see stuff you've never seen before. Ford, yeah, I actually called that last week. It was on my buy list. And I thought, I'm not going to buy Ford. I know the setup looks good, so I sent it out to my mentees. But I was like, I'm not buying it. I just don't trust Ford. And, well, I should trust the process, not my weird car brand beliefs. 9% up in 3 days. So congrats for people who follow the rules better than me. Circle. I find it difficult to deal with stocks like this. And I'm very, very happy to say I did not buy it. I did not know it. I mean, I just don't buy IPOs, generally speaking. I always think you're just making other people wealthy on the IPO. But it obviously had a tremendous run up. And an interesting thing here is as the stock's coming down and they're consolidating, volumes come down. So there isn't apparently a massive desire to sell this. So this might be a little bit more stable than perhaps it looks. So, but yeah, I don't really have a strong opinion on this. It's hard to look at a chart that's only been around for a month or so, and this is why I don't. And maybe you think, oh, but you missed out on the biggest thing in the world. Yeah, I'm sure, but I miss out on loads of stuff every single week, and I'm doing all right because there are way more opportunities every single week that you could possibly ever want to buy. Or you might want to buy them, but you can't actually buy them all. So far was one that we did buy again around here, 1565. And that's, again, rules-based, and that is now up about 18%. So congrats to anybody who was in on that. That looks good. Volume coming off a little bit here, but again, it might be a little bit of a pre-holiday situation. And Rocket Lab, Rocket Man. We should play some Elton John when we talk about this song. This stock even. And yeah, nice entry point here at 33, come down again to 35, so a little disappointing, I think, there. Monstrous red selling volume here on that day, right? So we went down 2% on huge volume, which is a little disappointing, and that might have like stunted the rally. So I think we're going back into like consolidation right now. Hims and hers. Again, another example why you want to have a stop, in my opinion, because people are now stuck in this thing until it goes back up to 60 or something. 3 days in a row below the 50-day moving average line. Very, very little volume. So no one's really that interested in terms of money, institutional money. IREN, I don't know how you pronounce that, IREN Limited, monster breakout here, and again, these things can continue. Yeah, it did go up to 18 and came back to 16.9, but just look at that volume here. So you've awoken the beast, the money beast that seems to keep buying this. So these things can go much, 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 much higher. Lemonade, that's still a thing, is it? Consolidating at present. So nice little breakout down here, and now it's consolidating sideways. Mask, total freaking disaster. Another reason why we don't just click the buy button. Literally, if you just learn this today, learn that. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a stock that just zigzagged sideways, right? And what we would do is we would say, well, we're only going to buy it if it goes above all the recent highs approximately, then maybe a little higher. So we would buy it here. The smart people would be like, but you can buy it cheaper. And then what happens? Well, disaster strikes and the thing collapses because it actually broke through the support. And therefore, we will not be in on this. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing not to be in on things that actually just collapsed. So that's one of the reasons we like to overpay a little bit. We overpay for some peace and calm. But look at this overall. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. QQQ, the NASDAQ, all-time highs, 555 on the QQQ here. An absolutely beautiful setup, zero resistance, lots of opportunity to go higher in my humble opinion. SPY, same story there. We've taken out all the highs, looking absolutely wonderful, big and beautiful. So I have every reason to believe that we're going to go into next week looking very, very good. Sector rotations are still happening. Our risk management always needs to be in place so you don't get caught out. And we're going to find a ton more beautiful opportunities, and we're going to invest in those, and we're going to make more and more and more money. If you want to learn exactly how we do all of that on a Sunday, learn my Sunday trading strategy, then learn it for free with me on Sunday. It's on Saturday even, felixprehn.org/seminar. There's a link down below. And I wish you a beautiful, nice, happy, long weekend. Take care. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act is now law. It extends the 2017 tax cuts and the Jobs Act, and there are certain stocks that are likely to benefit. So I've combined here my insight from the actual bill's provision, including the tax incentives for domestic investments and how they will drive stock buybacks, particularly from some of the big stocks out there.